Cybernation Uncensored.
Hey everybody, it's us. We're back. After a bit of a long break and a few things, you might notice something's different. Yeah, I got my haircut. No, I'm kidding. Unfortunately, one of our players, Nolan, has some personal stuff and is no longer going to be able to join the game, but the rest of us are still going to be here and we're going to continue the story as normal. Just go to the chat in case he reads it. Wish Nolan good luck with everything. Hope he gets back on his feet. Also, another bit of housekeeping before we start. Rob Morgan, who founded CNU, and may or may not be in this chat, depending, it's his birthday today. So if everyone could just give him a happy birthday, it would be very nice. The guy made all of this possible, makes all of this very possible. It's his birthday. Let's all greet him a bit. And,
happy birthday!
Just give him a shout out in the chat for me. And if, in case anyone's forgotten, we're going to give a very brief recap before we begin. With all of that out of the way, we can introduce our players for this evening and see what they're going to have to go through in a bit. And because all of this overlay is new and everything is different, we start with Dorsley this time.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Dorsley, and I will be playing EV1-9.3 or just Evie, and she might be in danger, but what else is new?
And that is now Shockman.
What's up, guys? I'm Michael Shockman. I am playing Lieutenant George Stone, the I guess you could say the CO or the commanding officer of the Bad Bunch, as I have come to be calling them. And we are, George is, his heart's pounding and he's like, "Don't you fucking die, Evie. I will come in there, I will blast them to living hell." Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to go forward. Let's get into this.
And Echo.
I am the invincible Echo Jones. Multiple combats have yet to be taken down. I'm getting a little cocky now. I'm gonna, I feel like I have narrative invincibility until I don't. I'm gonna keep going with it.
You know what they also said was invincible? The Titanic. So, with that out of the way, we just a bit of a reminder: music and audio by Scienscape, if you guys want to check it out. And also, this is, as always, a mature stream. We will be using languages and scenes may be described that are not intended for an audience below 18, because no 18-year-old in the world has ever watched something on the internet that they weren't supposed to. You have been told. Now, for the recap. The last time, a few weeks ago, we saw this group of intrepid investigators. They went out of Los Angeles to continue their investigation. Outside of the city, they found a lawless place, a destroyed ruin of a former Californian city. And within there, they were able to discover a few things. Not least of which is where Elle, your not so friendly replicant who has been responsible for taking out a number of you at this point. Blade Runners, that is. You've discovered where she gets her sword. You discovered how she moves about, and you've also discovered her group ordering some very dangerous explosive material. In an effort to further this investigation, because you did sell your souls to the Wallace Corporation to get this information, you all have, or Evie rather, has decided that it would be prudent to infiltrate the group, so to speak. And in that infiltration, you manage to convince them that you are a member, or you are going to be part of their replicant brigade, that you are going to join them, and that you were equally as disgruntled with everything that's going on regarding replicants. They've accepted this, and you are going in without any of your standard LAPD equipment. No trackers, no bugs, no KIA, and more importantly, no weapons. Just you and yourself.
Do I not have my sword?
Oh, sorry, you do have the sword you bought.
Okay. I was like...
But otherwise, you know, you're basically unarmed.
Yeah.
So, fortunately for you, miserable junkies in the chat, and that might be a bad thing. Depends what happens.
Yeah. we also got Shig, who's in Neon Lords, and who knows what they're gonna do with
who
the
knows what they're
benefits.
who knows what they're gonna do to Evie. So, that being said, with everything that has just been mentioned, it's now time to get back into this. With all of you, oh no, I might have screwed something up. Sorry everyone. New overlays, weird things, lots of things to fix. But anyway, we'll get right into it with all of you having gathered. The three of you, three of you including Elijah, are watching Evie walk into a group of replicants, your enemies, having successfully infiltrated their group. Evie, you are getting into their spinner carrier. It's like a floating van.
Mm.
This now is a matter of Echo managing to follow them without being tailed on a flying vehicle, which means you have to stay on a lower plane, lower than the spinner was designed to fly. You are going to be below the city line, so you, unlike them, because if you follow behind them, they'll notice you. You have to be lower than them, which means you risk hitting some dilapidated skyscrapers. So we are going to open up
through the streets. I got
yes,
this.
in the car. We are going to open up with a roll for you to drive.
Oh, and we just got a -2.
Who gave a -2 this early? Who hates you guys that
Shig.
much?
Chunky Burb.
Chunky Burb.
did.
Shig has provided a -2, which means Echo, you are rolling at a disadvantage. Right off the bat. We do still have three of the +2s floating around.
Don't even need it. I'm gonna be driving low. This is the way I'm used to driving. Down here in the streets, dodging telephone poles, semi-trucks.
Oh wow. Okay, not bad. That's better than not bad. That's a crit on a disadvantage. Good for you.
Oh yeah. Like Spider-Man, I'm zipping between the cars.
So
between the semi-truck and the cab and thing.
However George's gonna feel about this, and by default, Elijah's still with you guys. However you're gonna feel about this, Echo is going through the buildings. He's going through the broken windows, passing by the offices on the spinner, destroying everything, going through another broken window. Sometimes he's going vertically, and you're sideways on the car, just avoiding crashing around.
I didn't hit the cabbage spinner, but the cabbage spinner did drop its cabbages.
Cabbages drop.
Nigel,
Yes?
just as a reminder, while Echo is driving in the car, I'm on the gun.
Right? On the
Yep.
on the
I'm
onboard.
on the autocannon.
Yep. So while you guys are driving, Evie, you are in the van. Some guy randomly in the background is screaming about his cabbages. Evie, the van is built in a way like those standard carrier vans where you have rows of seats, but they are not they're not multi-person seats. They're like the presidential seats. They're individual seats in the van.
Got it.
And behind you are packs and packs of explosives that they just bought. plastic explosives, things for IEDs. They're not active yet. They are meant to be molded, but they are explosive material. The guy who welcomed you here is going to take a look at you. So, you, he stops to think. Why'd you say yes to joining?
Well,
It's your story.
are you trying to feel me out before I meet your leader? Wherever it is that you're taking me?
I want to know why we should even trust you. Anything you say.
Well, I mean, if you're smart, then you wouldn't at all. Right? 'Cause I sure as hell don't trust you. But
Which is why we need to get to know each other. Why don't you tell us something about you, and we'll tell you something about someone in here.
well, I guess the reason why I said yes is because I can see the writing on the wall. You know, it's just this endless cycle of coming out with new versions of replicants and retiring the old ones is just gonna keep on going unless we do something about it. And I don't know about you, but I really like living. And I don't think that it's right for people to decide whether we live or die just based on a number.
That's the manipulation roll.
Okay.
-2 is already used, so you avoided your own friend's problems. 2. And a crit at that. He nods in agreement and a bit of respect. Shayna over there. He kind of cocks his head towards the shotgun seat in the front. He's the next 8. She had a platoon of soldiers. They called them the Dead Men because they got sent to the worst missions possible. Right in the trenches, right in the front lines, shock troopers, anything you can think of. They were sent to die, but they lived. Only to die at the hands of Blade Runners when they returned. Expecting to be greeted as heroes, they instead got treated like the enemy. For doing exactly as they were told. Mike over here is a Nexus 9. Yes, it's the guy sitting next to him. Both of them are in front of you. His only crime was seeing his only old owner die of old age at that. And now he has no purpose and wasn't left anything to will. So the Blade Runners deemed that he needs to die. Everyone here has been marked for death for a reason. We're fighting so that stop. The writing on the wall you're talking about, we wrote that with the blood of the people who would hunt us down. And we're gonna keep writing it until they stop. Now is that the kind of thing that you're willing to be a part of?
I think that's something that I can get behind.
Good. He looks at the driver, who kind of, based on their body language, is their leader. What do you think? I think we take her to the facility and let her see for herself what exactly we're fighting for. You sure? She's new. It's ready to move anyway. Might as well let her get a glimpse. Well, new girl, it's your lucky day. You might not be meeting the boss, but you're gonna see exactly what we're doing this for. Maybe get that fighting spirit up.
And you definitely piqued my interest.
You guys are all flying back to Los Angeles. It's only gonna take under an hour. This is your third shift. Sorry if I'm coughing a bit.
It's okay. Quick question. My spinner is still in San Diego. Is there a remote control for it, or can I like call it back to my apartment?
Unfortunately, self-driving isn't a thing yet.
No.
On the bright side,
Bruce.
on the bright side, it's LAPD issue, which means, you know, the LAPD foots the bill.
Oh, but my clothes are in there. I put on this disguise.
Oh, there's a 4+2 from Birdzilla.
Woo!
So, that spin is going to be stuck there. Besides, even if your clothes are in there, no one necessarily knows that
shit's getting jacked.
I know.
no one necessarily knows it was yours.
I know, but I just, I wanted my clothes.
Tell you what, to make narrative sense of it, we'll have Elijah drive it back. He's gonna be an hour behind, so he doesn't have to do the stealth driving.
Yeah, because it also has her KIA, all of her weapons, her armor, her her sidearm, her badge, everything. It has everything in it.
It does.
Her charging cable.
It does. Her charging cable. Okay. It's going to be a tense drive. They're not going to say anything else, but you will be just outside of Los Angeles limit. The map is only the central city, but essentially you are outside of LA, which, by the way, is a megacity now. It encompasses the northern part of SoCal as well. All the way up to, if I have my geography right, San Francisco. So it is a humongous city at the moment, and you are outside of that, on the eastern border, outside of Los Angeles.
Got it.
When you land there, you're going to see a community that resembles something you might have read about in books. It's cabin, and whatever they can use for firewood. It's got a little campfire in the center. It's got all the dead trees from all these years past and a few kindlings that they can use to light the fire, to keep themselves warm. It is a civilization of the past. And again, like you've read about in some of those books that are on your shelf. The rest of you, I will need... Echo can land discreetly, but I will need George and Echo to roll their stealth to approach where they landed, because obviously you can't land in the same space.
Okay. George will probably take out the rifle out of the back of the trunk of his car, make sure he's loaded up on ammo, and probably, instead of trying to go in, because he's a good... This is basically his thing that he does now. He'll look to Echo and say, "You go in and follow it. I'm sure you're better on that than I am. I'll find a place up here in the trees and try and keep it overwatch."
Sure.
And so I will go ahead and make my stealth roll, which is not the best, but it's not horrible.
It goes for Echo too.
Right. I'm actually going to use one of those +2s.
We're down to 3, and you may have advantage.
So we have another -2.
For some reason...
And now you have disadvantage from Chunky Verb. So that's a straight roll.
I actually already had disadvantage from wearing the armor.
You can take it off if you like. You were in the car. but you won't have armor.
No, I'm not going to take it off.
Then you have this. Oh,
I'm going to push that. That's one success.
Nice.
There we go.
okay, great. So let's do this. One success. That's I need Echo to do as well for a stealth roll.
Stealth roll. Here we go.
Yep.
Second, I don't know why I lost it. Here. And I can just do a regular roll, not disadvantage, right?
Yes,
Or do I have to do
because
disadvantage because of negative?
no. George took the negative for you.
Thanks, taking the bullet for me.
But it didn't matter because it was.
I can only
already
roll
a
with advantage or disadvantage. I can only roll with it. It's not letting me doing. Oh, it's because of the police undershirt.
It's because
Yeah.
you have the armor on, yeah.
You can unclick it on the selection if you want to take off the armor. If you don't, you're gonna have to take the disadvantage. This will determine whether or not you're armored.
I'm gonna roll with disadvantage. You got me thinking that now. Hold on.
We have
Can I
4
use
plus
one of
2s.
those
We
three?
have 4 plus 2s.
3. You used one.
Okay, so can I use one of those to roll regular?
Sure.
Actually, DM or Nigel, I did not use it. I didn't
okay.
even click on it. It just did it by itself.
And we have 3 on its own.
Ugh, I blow up the entire. None of it
Ooh.
works.
No.
You may now
Where
use
am I
another
armored?
+2 to. You do get stress. You'll have to keep that, but you may use another +2 to roll again. You still have 3 left.
You know what? I think it's worth it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna roll. Here we go. Does that work?
It's 0.
No, it doesn't.
There's still 3 more.
Sorry.
Oh, no, there's 2 more
I
left.
can't push it, right?
You can.
Can I push one after I've
You
done
can.
that?
Yeah, you can push. There you go.
I give up.
And an actual
There
crit.
you go.
You managed to
really
salvage a broken stealth roll. After stepping on a few twigs and causing some noise, you convinced them that it's some random animal that really shouldn't be around there anymore.
I did
But,
a very convincing cat. Yeah. Like after I knocked over a can.
Sure. But the 2 of you stay hidden. So you're going to see roughly the same thing that EV sees. And like I said, what you're seeing is a community, right? It's a group of people. There's another disadvantage on whoever rolls next. Oh, Chunky Bro
You're
does
a
not like
chaos
any of you.
gremlin, Big. You're insane.
But you are seeing a community. There are people, there are parents, there are babies. You can even hear the crying of infants here. And because there are 2 disadvantages. Another from Petra Pika. Okay, you guys might die today.
They're both people from my gaming group. I'm never inviting you guys to watch my streams ever again.
So, whoever the next 2 rolls have disadvantage, and there's only 2 +2s floating around. Okay. The community that you're seeing is again living off the land, kind of, and they're accomplishing something that is thought to be impossible. They're farming. There's food growing from the soil. There's actual cabbages this time coming from the soil along with
This
other
is where the cabbages
produce.
came from.
There are now 3 negatives and a +2 from Miserable Chunky. So, good luck with that. This is pretty bad. But, again, with all of this happening, the guy brings Evie to one of the huts. It is just a standard cylindrical shaped hut with thatch for the roof along with leaves and twig. A 4 +2 from Silver Phantom and 3 negatives. So let's see what happens here. Evie steps inside. And what you are hearing is a woman screaming inside like she's being tortured. Do you react?
I try not to.
Okay. They just have you wait there. They don't say anything.
Okay.
But you hear a pained screaming in the background. Eventually, the screaming stops. And you feel like relief that it stopped screaming, but also, did they kill her? And a few moments after you hear the screaming, you hear crying of an infant. And coming out of there are people in regular clothes, but they have makeshift masks on their face and they're carrying a baby. And the other guy who's been in this sort of waiting area the entire time goes to it and grabs it and cries in joy. And the guy who brought you here, the guy you've been talking to since the van, looks to you. You ever see a miracle?
I can't say that I have.
Pete, come over here. And he wipes his tears off his eyes and hands his baby to the guy who gave it to him. You know what to do. And you see the guy talking to you has a scanner, similar to what the LAPD Blade Runners use. Looks up and to the left, and you see a barcode on his eye. He's a Nexus 9 from his code. Pete's a Nexus 9. So is the woman inside recovering. Get the picture?
How is that even possible?
Because the entire world has been lying to us since the beginning. Don't get me wrong, this place isn't sprawling with babies. We got 4 out of the 50 people living here who've been trying for the last 5 years. But it happened. And that generation, as a generation of replicants born, according to our analysis, they have the potential to be fertile. Which means in 20, 30 years, we're not fighting for us. We're fighting for them. Because you know what Blade Runners, the LAPD, and everyone else is gonna do to those children once they find out they're born?
I have an idea, yeah.
Let me rephrase the question. Do you know what they've already done? He's giving you Polaroid of infant killed by the Blade Runners in clandestine missions off the book. That's what they've done. That's what they do. We're not people to them. We're fucking objects they can use and discard whenever they like. And they don't like it when their toys start coming to life. They decide who lives and who dies. They decide who gets to breathe. That's what we fight for.
Nigel, I have a question. And because of my
Sure.
audio, my auditory implant, am I within range to be able to hear all of this?
Yes, you are. Echo might not, but your auditory implant allows you to hear it.
Okay.
So he looked at you dead in the eye. We're not doing this for violence sake. We're not doing this just so we can kill people. We're not here enjoying the murder we are causing or the bloodshed that's happening. We're doing it because it is the only way they listen to us. Our leader's being hunted right now by the LAPD because her message is getting listened to. Her message is getting heard. And the more the Blade Runners hunt us, the stronger that message becomes. We die, that message outlives us. There won't be another replicant made that won't hear the stories, that won't hear those whispers on the street. That revolution is coming. That fight is here. And more people are going to join our cause. Because it's not about us. It's about the fact that we can have a future. That God has decided we can have a future. And the Blade Runners, they can't take that from us. They have no right to take that from us. So I'm gonna ask you again. Is this a fight you're willing to join?
Evie looks at the Polaroids of the dead infants in her hands.
They don't have names attached. You know the bottom white part of a Polaroid? They don't have names attached to them.
Yeah.
What they've put there is the case number that Blade Runners have assigned to them. As a reminder that the Blade Runners don't see replicants as people.
Would it be possible to can I take a note in my brain and try and retain
The case numbers?
the numbers? Yeah.
He shows you only 2, so it's...
Only
sorry, he
two?
shows you only
Okay.
3. So it's
Okay.
fairly easy to remember them.
Okay.
Especially
okay.
since you're a replicant. It's kind of your thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do everything that I can to remember that so that I could potentially
Look it up.
look them up later. But yeah, all the while this is happening, obviously because of revelations from last time of Evie being born as well, there's just a lot going through her mind, and she is very empathetic to their cause, especially because we're talking about innocent children, as much as she wants to kill Elle. But yeah, she takes that moment just looking over the photos and the case numbers and just trying to steady her thoughts as much as she can, and she looks up and says, yeah, I think this is a cause I can get behind. Thank you for trusting me with this.
All right. You got a place to stay?
I do. I've been on my own in the city for a long time. I got a place.
He hands you an old school burner. An actual flip phone.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call you.
All right.
Need a ride? City's still 10 miles east, 10 miles west.
Yeah, can you drop me someplace in Chinatown?
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
You nod. When you leave, the place does look like they are getting ready to pack up. Kind of like a nomad settlement. They can put down the tents, remove everything, put it into some of their larger vehicles, and then leave. So you can tell that they don't fully trust you, but they're showing you because they're already planning to leave anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be driven out. I'm assuming the other two will follow.
I did it to myself this time. George will actually, with his neural implant, he will message silently to Echo and say, "Meet back at the spinner. we need to meet up with Evie in Chinatown. Keep a low profile.
I'm gonna need Echo to drive
back
again.
off. Yeah, I'm gonna back off, get back to the spinner with Shockman. Stone.
I'm gonna need you to roll drive to not be seen. Evie, you're good.
At
they're gonna
disadvantage
drop you
because we had 3 minus
Yes.
2s.
So you have
I'm gonna run disadvantage.
you have a choice. You can take a disadvantage, which means you're just gonna roll your driving and not add the car's value to it. Or you can roll normal roll, but you can accumulate the +2s and reduce whatever you roll by 6. If you want to bite the bullet for all those -2s.
Do we
Oh,
just
yeah, I wanna
wait?
make
Can we just wait for a little bit for them to take off? And we know where they're. I know where they're going. So could we just wait so that it doesn't seem we don't necessarily need to follow them?
You can. It's just a matter of being careful, because you're near the settlement. If they have
that's a
any
good point.
kind of not radars, but people watching, that's what you're
Gotcha.
trying to avoid.
Sentries. Gotcha.
Yep.
What was the Jesus option where I take all the sins of the -2s upon myself?
You're gonna roll your dice. So you roll driving, you add an A dice because that's the handling of the car you're in. And then whatever you roll, we're going to reduce it by 6. And you take all of the
I'm gonna take
negatives
that
That
from
works.
Chunky Perp.
I can handle it. My spinner.
Well,
my
okay,
spinner
fine.
can handle bars.
The person who
Got
gave them
8-point harness.
requests that they be separated, so you're gonna roll disadvantage. Unfortunately.
This was supposed to be my heroic moment. They were gonna talk about this for games.
We have
My
to respect
bid's
the
used for
request
nothing.
of the people
take
of the
wheel.
chat. I have
Echo,
always
take the
respected
wheel.
the chat. Okay, so there is
Disadvantage, I still got.
that's one of the disadvantages. There will be 2 more. We will not disrespect what the chat has requested off of all of you. But you did manage to do it with all of the disadvantages. And in fact, like I was saying earlier, you delay yourself a bit. You do see some sentries watching. They are keeping an eye on what enters Los Angeles coming from their direction. So Echo has to drive low, go through the trees, and turn around. And basically go south, go in, and then go back north to Chinatown. He has to make
Just
a
in case
maneuver.
I've seen, I try to drive very robotically.
Great, like a service. So there will be 2 more negatives coming up, but you guys go through. Eventually, Evie, you're dropped off. Elijah will probably tell you that he has your car on the way. But you have
I don't
case
have my
numbers.
KIA.
You do not. You have case numbers.
Yes, I have case
But-
numbers.
You know that George is capable of hearing things, especially with those thin, thatch and wood walls. So you probably heard that you probably heard that you were being dropped off in Chinatown. You can assume that. So you can very much assume that they're gonna wait here. And it takes about a few more minutes until they arrive. But this is now, we've pressed the time, your final shift, which means you can still investigate if you like. You'll take stress for it. Otherwise, you can just relax here and talk.
Yeah.
But you are in Chinatown. Would you like this? You can meet up with them in Chinatown. There's a bit of find Evie at the moment because
Mhm.
they don't know where in
As-
Chinatown you've been dropped off.
As soon as George meets up with Evie, he's going to come up to her, just put his hand on her shoulder and say, "Noodles or whiskey? And
Both.
where do you want to talk?" I heard
well,
everything.
I was gonna say, before because I'm kind of gonna lay low, I guess. I'm gonna wait until I find them, and I want to make sure that I'm not being tailed, and
Gotcha.
checked on by the group.
That's observation.
which I suck at, and it's gonna be a disadvantage. So
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna
chubby
trust.
burb.
Push. And push again.
Well,
There are 3 plus 2s. If you'd like to make another
it's
roll.
fine. It's fine. I'll take it.
Okay. So whether or not you're being tailed, you're not entirely sure. Then the rest of them meet you. And you can go to a small little synth noodle shop. One
Yeah.
that Blade Runners frequent.
Yeah. George kind of has everybody. Once we find Evie, we'll basically head over to Dim Tai Fung's noodle and Japanese whiskey shop. Just kind of a hole in the wall little place. Serves bottom shelf drinks and decent above board synth noodles. He will order us all around of just a double for each of us of the whiskey and a healthy thing of noodles. And he will sit down, and as we sit down and after we've gotten our stuff, he'll kind of look to Evie and say, "So do you want to fill Echo in, or do you want me to? Because I heard everything."
Well, I saw some of it. It's like a little.
Well, you don't. I mean, okay. There are. Okay, before I tell you anything, Echo, I feel like we need to clear the air a little bit because I don't know what I should tell you. Everything since Lance has kind of gone really fast, but when we talked to Alice, you said some stuff about replicants and evolution and all of this stuff. And look, I get it. I understand why you feel the way that you do about replicants. When you said that, I mean, you realize that I'm one of them too, and that eventually, even if I'm completely loyal to the RDU, that I'm gonna be retired, and it seems like that's something that you're just fine with.
I was fine with eliminating someone like her, someone like the people we have been. The same way, if I saw a Neanderthal walking around, things like that, we're responsible for. We created them. And when I say we, I don't know. We're different. You say you're one of them, you're not. You say what's happening now is things are blending. It's not like it was when I was a kid. A lot of this leftover stuff is mistakes. This newer stuff, I'll tell you the truth. If you failed that test for the right reasons, I might be the only person in that department that'll support you. My big concern is that people make it, that humanity makes it. Whatever this next century's happening and the way things are going, if it's full of people like me, people like you, people like that we see every day, that's fine. Those aren't people. Whatever that is, it was a mistake that we're responsible for. We got to clean it up. And there's some cruelty involved. But people, I'm not here to kill people. Because someday, we might be the Neanderthals. There might be something better that does come along, but they have to be better. I'm not going to give up whatever this is whatever we are and look over at stone for something less. If we're going to replace it, it's got to be better than us. And whatever that was, whatever we've been cleaning up, it's not better than us.
Here's the thing, though, and this is what I'm realizing from more and more of the replicants that I've talked to, is that, yes, there are definitely some that are angry and violent and have a proclivity, just like any human that walks amongst us. The amount of atrocities that I've seen humans commit against other humans or against replicants is also huge. More often than not, the reason why they lash out is because they're trying to defend themselves and they're just trying to survive. They're children. Replicant children that are being born. I heard one born as I was there. That is what they're trying to protect. That's what L is trying to save. And apparently the RDU knows and have already sent Blade Runners to retire infants. I saw the photos. I know the case numbers.
As you say that, George was taking a sip of his whiskey and he literally coughs it up and he puts his glass down and wipes his mouth.
So you want to talk about being better?
Well, let me ask, are they?
Look, I still...
Echo, I don't think it's a matter of being better or not. If something is born, whether biologically or otherwise, in my opinion, that makes them just as important as us, no less valid. I don't think that, and I heard, couldn't see, but I heard everything that was going on, and I can confirm what she said. I heard the screams, I heard the labor pains, I heard the baby being born, and through the scope of my rifle I did see the baby, and they took out a scanner and did the whole thing. It's not a matter of better or not better. You say that we may be the Neanderthals one day. I think we're already there, bud. And I think it's time that a reckoning, I think the reckoning is at our doorstep. And I think, well, what I think doesn't really matter. But I can tell you this. And I know what my sister would say. Fuck Wallace. And I look to Evie and I say, if you'll have me, I'm with you. Fuck Wallace, fuck the RDU.
I don't know what to do about that, though. I'm so mad at her and her tactics and for her stupid fucking plane getting Lance killed.
Yeah. But how many of her people have people like us killed? How many people have they had to bury or not been able to? The
I mean,
bloodshed
if I-
has got to stop one of these days.
Yeah.
George just takes a long sip of his whiskey and then pulls out a synth cig, weed cig, and then just starts smoking in the place.
Evie takes out like or grabs like a napkin and finds a pen somewhere. I'm assuming one of you guys must have a pen or something. Then I write down the case numbers.
I hand you a pen out of my pocket.
Yeah, and I slide it over. These are the case numbers of the infants. I don't know what you would be able to find. Probably the RDU, I'm sure, has scrubbed as much as they can.
Probably.
I don't know why I got this thought in my head, but Lance was with the RDU for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he knew?
I don't know, but I think he knew something was up, and I like to think that a big reason why he did what he did was because he knew that he could any longer be a part of it. I don't know. He wanted to be able to bring us together and to protect us, but he also knew what was coming, and he knew he couldn't handle it. And with everything I heard today, I don't know that I would have been able to make a better choice myself, put in his situation. One thing's for sure. And George takes his hand and, in a kind, friendly manner, nothing else, he places it on Evie's hand and says, "We are together." And I take Echo's hand and I put it on top of ours and say, "No matter what happens, the three of us, I don't care what anybody else says, in my eyes, we are family. And we look out for one another. And if for no other reason, that is the greatest gift I think Lance could have given us."
Well, we've been through enough. I don't see any of us turning coat.
Didn't we kind of just do that? Or do you mean against each other?
I think
Oh, I
we're
mean,
giving
it's
each other.
the Battle Brothers, us
Yeah.
Panda Brothers, exactly.
I'm like, I think we just
bad
turned
bunch.
coat.
The bad bunch.
I think we literally just agreed to screw over the RDU and Wallace.
Exactly.
During your-
Hey, we got the money.
We got the money.
This is your
We just
downtime.
don't. Mhm.
Ordinarily, you wouldn't be able to do this, but because you have the exact case numbers, you could take one of your KIAs from George or Echo and just do a quick search. See what these case numbers are about. The problem with that,
Oh,
as always, is the LAPD will know you looked it up. Is that
I will
something you want
look
to do?
over to I will look over to Elijah, and I will say,
Oh, he hasn't
"Eli."
arrived.
Oh, he hasn't arrived. Okay.
But he
Okay.
did message you guys that he left Evie's vehicle parked in the LAPD basement, and that he had some
Okay.
personal business to take care of.
Okay. I will convey that message then, and let you know. Oh yeah, by the way, your shit's in the basement parking
Okay.
lot. I will kind of look and I will say, it's gonna take me a little bit of time, but I think I can probably my old place, my family's place, has an off the grid database link, or at least used to. It should still work, at least to a certain extent. Can't guarantee how much I'll be able to find, but at least it won't be trackable. At least not yet. So I'm happy doing that. And
I may have to find another place to. Oh, I may have to find another place to live. Actually,
You
I
have
don't
a
know if
friend
anyone's.
who said you could stay by anytime you wanted.
That's right.
you do, and George will also look and say,
Yeah.
I already sent the message before we left to have my sister move back into the house, and she really liked you. She liked teaching you how to cook. It would mean a lot to me if you could stay with her.
I would love to. The only thing that I'm worried about, I'm worried about being tailed. I'm already like nervous enough being seen with you guys right now.
That's a good point.
I really, I don't want to
Risk it.
endanger your sister or anything.
Gotcha.
By staying with a Blade Runner sister. I have someone that I might be able to stay with. And
Okay.
she's not connected to any of this. So
Okay.
should be okay.
Where, if you don't mind my asking, where is it?
Actually,
Is it in the city?
Yeah, it's down the hill from your family's house.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
if
outside
you're,
of the neighborhood.
yeah. Oh, I'll have to. I'll. He just kind of starts saying something and then just takes a drink of his whiskey because he's like, I don't want to say anymore because I don't want to put my foot in my mouth.
Okay.
And I finish up my noodles and I
You
say,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I say that I kind of look and I'm like, I think that I can't speak for Echo or for Elijah, but when I'll look up these case files, and if they turn out to be true or even slightly true, I may be the lieutenant in the RDU's eyes, but I'm gonna be playing second fiddle to you, Evie. Your headline in this one, and your quarterback, and I've got your back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you split the team. You go to your individual homes. Echo still stays in his little Tokyo apartment. Stone is gonna be going off to his family home, and Evie,
Yes.
you knock on Emma's doorstep. So when she opens the door, she sees you. Oh, hi. Sorry, I haven't pressed it late. Are you
I
okay?
know. I'm really sorry. I'm okay.
It's okay.
I just this is
It's fine.
I don't want to say too much. I'm not in trouble or anything. It's just right now it's kind of better if I'm not seen in RDU housing.
I understand.
Yeah.
You live as a replicant. It's really long enough to understand these.
Yeah. I can find I have enough money. I can find another place. It's just for the night.
It's okay. It's all right. My benefactor left quite a bit, and it's fine. I haven't had a chance to put sheets on the guest room yet. You can stay in the couch is you can pull it up to make it a bed, and I can prepare the guest room in the morning.
Yeah, that works. That's more than enough. Thank you. I really appreciate it, Emma.
Just grab the bottom part. I'll get you some sheets, and so I'll get you some blankets and a pillow.
Okay. Thanks.
But you take the couch, and she hands you some pillows, blankets, something to stay warm, and she looks at you. Do you want to eat? Or drink something? Do you want to talk?
I ate, I drank, and I talked. I think right now I just really want to sleep. It's been a really long day.
Of course.
Thanks.
Well, I'll be in the room if you need anything. Okay?
I'll let you know. Sorry again to wake you up.
No, it's all right. We're not gonna help each other. Who will? He nods. Oh, I might have to leave a bit early tomorrow. I don't want to wake you, so this is a key. If you could just lock up when you leave, and whenever you come back. I took a new job as a strange shift nurse, so
Oh,
the shifts are kind of off.
You don't work at the courthouse anymore?
No, I was working there for a bit. I took some courses and some training, and I wanted to get into medicine, but I didn't. She stopped and kind of looks a little sad. They don't let us be doctors, but
Right.
I was allowed to take a course in nursing and had the registration done, so at least it's a step closer.
I mean, nurses really do all the work anyway.
Vital
And they
NPC.
I just wanted to.
And they.
I don't know. I have memories of these old shows about doctors and everything they do, and I wanted to be one of those trauma surgeons. The people who are there when things happen, who are able to save lives on, just every day. But
Yeah.
I'll take what I can, and who knows, maybe they'll let me if I do good enough. But
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Things change very quickly.
maybe
But
not
it can.
quick enough, I guess. But
Yeah.
I want to do what I can with my life, and well, I start tomorrow, so I've got a 4 a.m. call. So here's a key. Keep it. Come in and out anytime you want. I don't mind, and it would be nice to have a roommate. The house is honestly a little lonely. Help yourself to anything in the fridge. I've got some food there. And some beer and whiskey if you need on the shelf.
Good to know.
I'm so happy Evie has her BFF.
Oh, and this is my personal line. If there's any emergencies, sometimes the water heater acts up, so she writes down, she does the roommate thing, writes down a whole lot of emergency numbers. This is for the plumbing, this is for the electricity, this is for any carpentry work. Here, in case I'm not around, something happened.
Okay. I think I'm covered in every situation possible.
I'll see you. Alright?
Okay. Yeah.
She nods and just smiles. But you can tell on her smile that she has worry. You wouldn't be here in the middle of the night, regardless of what you said. It's
Yeah.
hard for her to believe that a replica in the middle of the night needing a place to stay isn't in danger. So on her face you can tell that she's willing to take that regardless.
Oh.
But she lets you stay there. So since you're all getting some sleep, unless George would like to actually look up that case file now, but it will cost you that
No,
shift.
George is gonna wait. He's not gonna look it up tonight, but he is gonna be spending the night at his family home with his sister.
Of course.
And I would like to have a conversation as George
her?
with Iffy.
Yeah, sure. On the way or in your
George-
house?
In the house. In
Okay.
the house.
Sure.
George will come in and kind of just come in and come into his sister's suite and in the
She
and
actually
he's
will
playing-
welcome you when you get home. Because she looks at you and
Aw.
says, It's really nice to be home, but I can't help but feel like there's something going on. You have that
Come with me.
look
Come
about you.
with me. Come with me. We need to talk. And George will
walks
take
with you.
off his things and oh, she's walking. She's not
Yes,
in a
she is.
wheelchair.
Medicine.
Wow.
The last.
Very
Remember,
cool.
she was on the last legs of her medicine. She does
Mhm.
have those crutches that you have to hold on
Uh-huh.
to, and they kind of wrap around your bicep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she is able to do it
She's
of her own
walking.
power.
Okay.
And she will look at it and say, the physical therapist said that the medicine's finally working in, and I need to exercise as much as I can.
He'll say, sit down. This is kind of heavy, and I can't tell you much, but I need to tell you something.
Of course.
There is stuff going on. For your own protection and your own safety, I don't want to tell you too much. But it is very heavy, and it has the potential to be very dangerous. And I will do whatever I can to protect you. But I need something from you. You told me many, many, many years ago that when the right thing presents itself, we can't turn it away. No matter what the consequences, no matter what might happen, it is always more important to do the right thing, even if it hurts in the short term. I have the chance to finally do something legitimately and wholeheartedly good, not just for our family, but for the world. But in doing so, and he puts his hand on her leg, and with her hand, he takes his hand and takes her hand and puts it in his, and says, "If I do this, you may come to pain." And he starts to tear up and kind of cry a little bit, and he says, "I have done everything that I can to provide a good life for you and to protect you the way you protected me when we were kids."
Interrupts you, puts her hand up. You are my brother, and I'll always love you. But you and I both know that neither of our parents would want us to come into any harm that we didn't have to come into. But we both know that when push comes to shove, we were raised to do the right thing. Whatever that was at the time, whatever it is now. I don't want to live in a world where people will have... I don't want to live in a world where you have to do things just to keep me pain-free. Things that are against what we believe in. You and if pain or hardship, if we lose this house, if we lose the money, if we lose everything at that price, or whatever it is that you think is worth that price, then of course I support you. And I trust you. I know that whatever it is that you're willing to make this sacrifice for is big enough that you believe in it.
More than I've believed in anything else in my life.
And you do what you have to do. Just tell me what you need me to do. And figure it out when we cross that bridge.
Okay.
But we'll do it together.
And George just gives her a big hug and just says, "I love you, sis."
I love you too. Whatever it is, even if you can't tell me, we're doing it together. Okay.
And he will go on and tell her a very abridged summary of what he has been doing and what has been going on, just so she has some idea of what's been going on. No names, no details or anything like that, but
crucial info.
He will give.
Do you tell her replicant baby? Babies.
Yeah, not that Blade Runners have been murdering them,
but it's possible.
He will tell her that it is possible. And he will use that as a focal point for why it is so important.
Okay. All right. She will accept, and she'll spend the night with you in your house, and this is a moment that's a bit quiet. She understands, she accepts, and she would have told you that if you weren't going to do it, she would have made you do it. Doesn't matter. She doesn't care if she doesn't walk again. This is bigger than her, and she gets that. So, the next morning, are any of you reporting to the LAPD?
No.
Hold on. I want to have a big conversation about this.
Oh, sure.
Quick. 1 second. I gotta.
With who?
I gotta clarify a few things.
Okay.
I've been thinking about this all night. The whole they're cute and being born, so we can't kill them now. Is not is too solid of an argument for the genocide of the entire human race. So I think I want to ask, what are my options in regards to? I've been around this kind. I know the job. I kind of know a little bit of the world, and I've read the books. I'm sure other enclaves of replicants have been found before. Is this like a nuke from orbit, or do they have to go in there and wet works the whole thing?
Replicants being born is unprecedented. At least
right. This is
it's supposed to be.
Threat to...
It's supposed to be unprecedented. Like, this was not supposed to happen. This was not supposed to be possible to happen.
Yeah, for me, this feels like Andromeda's strain. Hit the red button, nuke us while we're in the building.
If you're asking what the Blade Runner can do about this, what Blade Runners do.
So many bullets.
Yeah, but as a Blade Runner, kill the children. Wipe out the
but if I
settlement.
went in there with a gun, I'm going to be held down. I mean, obviously, can I call in the military or?
No, what I'm saying is you call in the Blade Runners.
Okay, alright.
If that's what you want to do.
Oh, like a big group of us go in and just do the.
It's gonna be an assault squad.
Right. Like the Avatar Assault on the Tree. Yeah.
Yes. It's going to be a massive, basically a Blade Runner. What's the right term? A Blade Runner SWAT team. If that's what you want to do, that is your option. That is all you can do. It is your duty to report it. Now, I would say this isn't extinction of the human race. Remember, humans, barely anyone lives in Earth anymore. Most of the human race is off-world. So right now, this is a crossroad of sorts. But what is true is that whatever decision you make is going to be massive on either side. Whether you join up with the other two or you report it to the Blade Runners, it is going to end with a lot of blood on both sides, regardless of the decision you make. So if you're thinking about picking a side,
see, I know what I would do in real life. So my problem is what I would do in the game. In real life, I would absolutely report non-human entities replicating in Southern California, and pretending to be humans.
Again, what I'm saying is that regardless of what you choose, it is going to end up with blood. And the prudent thing, since you're the one that's fresh out of the academy, is to make sure you have all the facts. Because as much as you can trust what the other two have said, you don't know what the plan of those replicants are. You don't know how big the overreaction of the RDU is going to be. You don't know what kind of problems is going to cause down the line. And more importantly, you don't know where Wallace stands behind this. Because remember, Wallace has been advocating for the acceptance of replicants and the abolishment of Blade Runners. He has been advocating for replicants to be accepted into society. As much as they're turning against him as well, Wallace Corporation's #1 advocacy is to accept replicants as human, to allow them to live as human. So there is a very big potential that if you trigger this, you also get the Nexus 9s killed, in which case Wallace is going to step in and bad things are going to happen for the Blade Runners. That's what I mean by there's blood on both sides. No matter what you choose, something bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
So this isn't a matter of, you tell everyone the replicants are dealt with, the Blade Runner's done. Because you now know for a fact there are Nexus 9s in that camp. There are Nexus 9s in the city. And if you start targeting them, if the Blade Runners start attacking them, the Wallace Corporation is damn sure gonna stop it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is great. I just needed some kind of like a little bit of a debrief in the world, because what my character would be aware of, not what my player is. So my character would be aware of a little bit of the dynamics of everything you're saying.
Yep.
I'm gonna say this is that I'm gonna basically sit down with Evie and Stone, and I'm basically gonna say pretty much exactly what I just said, which was, this is obviously this entire situation should be nuked from orbit. This goes against everything morally for the human race. The idea that they're acting in cinematic, squishy ways doesn't change anything. But at the same time, I think whatever's going on here, there's a little bit of my mercerism from my past. We haven't talked about it much, but not to say I'm on a holy crusade, but the idea of retiring, thinking, feeling, and actual people like us, I wouldn't want to do that. And if this is where the road that Wallace has taken us, and this is what our tech has brought us to this, I want to get a look at it before we pull the trigger. Whatever's happening down there, if we got to glass the place in a month, that's what happens. It doesn't have to happen today. But at the moment, my job is to retire replicants, and if these are people, if they don't pass that, the reason why we're doing this, and those reasons are null and void anymore, then we don't need to do it. But I just need that evidence needs to be proved to me, because I'll be honest, walking away from this and being quiet on this isn't what I signed up for.
I don't think these circumstances are what any of us signed up for. And to be fair, I didn't even sign up for this. I didn't get a choice.
Hell, I did, and I didn't. I barely got a choice, and this isn't what I signed up for. Then he kind of looks over to Evie and says, if he says hi, by the way, and she said she has your back.
Wait, did you tell her everything?
Not everything, but I told her a summarized brief, and she needed to know, and she said that doing the right thing was more important than her health. So I've got my clear.
This brings me back
So
to the
basically
question.
for myself, whatever this is, this Voight Conf test, I need to
This,
see it in real life because
wait, this brings me back to the question. First shift, you don't report in? Because if you get
No.
declared AWOL, that might put your little coup in jeopardy.
I think he just means that he doesn't like report the
Oh yeah, but I meant like, do
Like,
you
the baby.
still
Oh.
go through with your shift? You badge in, you
Oh,
pretend you're investigating.
yes.
That's what I mean.
Yes. Keeping up. I would anyway. Keeping up appearances.
Okay. So yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I
Are you?
think I'm gonna wear some of Emma's clothes and I'm gonna try and make myself not really look like
Recognizable.
myself and as sneakily as possible, like, or I guess is like, I don't know if because there's like an alleyway with like an entrance, right? Isn't
Yes.
that where we've been exiting for our smoke break?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's the
yes.
it's the loading dock. The loading dock.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and like go in not through the front and get my stuff.
There's still 2 -2s out here, so could you roll me a manipulation, please? With a -2. Courtesy of your friend.
Oh, my friends are so good to me.
That's a 1. You succeed that -2. So there's only 1 left. But yeah, you can disguise yourself. The thing is, I imagine Evie dresses like black tank top with the jacket and well-fitted
Yeah.
pants for combat.
Yeah.
Like the standard way to do it. Emma does not. I mean, obviously when she left, she has scrubs on. But Emma's everyday dresses are more akin to Sunday dresses with a nice hat and very bright colors. The only thing she has that comes in dark is some sort of cocktail dress.
No, I'll wear the bright.
And the
bright
informal
sundress.
stuff that she has. The informal stuff that she has, like pants and more practical things for going to work, are her like interview and / courtroom clothes. So you've got like a white button up and a pencil skirt, which is not far from what Evie is, but also a little more fitting for the RDU, but far from practical if you get into a fist fight. Because the pencil skirt and 3-inch heels.
No, I'm gonna do the like bright colored sundress, and if she has a hat,
He
I'm
does.
gonna wear a hat. Yeah.
Okay, so
like, at least that'll give me range of motion, like whatever.
George sees you walk in and is like, "Hello."
Don't.
Evie walks in a bright yellow and white
Evie?
sundress.
Oh,
I didn't
hello,
want
ma'am.
to.
Hello, ma'am. How can I help you today?
Shut up. Okay, I just needed to get my car, or I just needed to get my things out of the car. Can you? I don't want to stay here for very long, but can you tell the chief that I'm in deep cover right now, and so I've
already put in a request for
Okay.
indefinite undercover leave.
All right, good. As you were, gentlemen, I leave with my KIA. I don't think.
Because this is the first shift. I just need to ask,
Yeah.
does George want to start looking into it?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so I will need a tech roll, and
So
you have to suffer the last disadvantage.
I will have reported in the morning remotely from my sister's place, from my
Sure.
my family's home, and then I will have done this before I got into the office.
Sure.
And I will have done it from
Oh.
my setup and everything like that.
One other thing. Besides Echo, who's still on the fence, Evie and George, you are receiving 3 humanity points each
Woot!
for basically the firm betrayal.
Nice.
And I don't get it because I'm still on the fence.
You were taking the more median, because you're taking the approach of a proper Blade Runner. They've basically decided, fuck it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 1 humanity point away from leveling up to an A.
So- I do need George
In
to do a
what?
tech
In
roll.
what?
Oh, I will give Echo 2 promotion points for doing what is not protocol, but you're doing the due diligence that is expected of an LAP.
You said
Tech roll. A disadvantage.
Tech roll.
It's the last disadvantage
Yes.
from Donkey
Yes.
Verb.
Hey, that's 1 success.
I guess Chunky Verb doesn't win this time. No one seems to have failed except for Echo, who had to push multiple times. Remember
Nigel,
to
are
add
we
your
gonna
humanity
take
in
a break-
promotion.
Are we gonna take
We
our
are.
break here pretty soon?
I just wanted to end on this note. When you look up the cases, obviously redacted and removed,
Uh-huh.
but they're sealed record that require the access of the older chief before Holden. And from
Okay.
based on the years of the case files, they are when Lance was a rookie, a brand new fresh Blade Runner, his rookie year. Long before you ever joined the RDU, long before you joined the LAPD.
Yeah. Long before I was probably ever
And there are now
born.
2 more negative 2s from Chunky Verb and
We have to
Petra
say something.
right after.
I love my friends.
At this point,
And
what you do read, you've already seen the file. What you see here, this was one of the 2 was Lance's 3rd job in his rookie year. However, it was marked here on his case file that he refused the job and was sent for disciplinary action. That's what it says on the sealed file. But if you look at Lance's actual file, which I'll also give you for that role, he has a perfect mark. He's never been to disciplinary action. The Blade Runner who took over the job because Lance refused, it's been redacted from this file, meaning it doesn't exist on the database. But Lance did not do the job he was ordered to. It says he was sent to disciplinary action, but his record says that he is clean and perfect. Well, no, he has disciplinary actions, but not for that. He had some for showing up to work intoxicated. He had some for drinking in the middle on his desk in the day.
He has none for insubordination.
No, he has never once been charged for insubordination. He has never once refused an order according to his official record. And nothing has been redacted from this record, meaning this is the record. But the file that he was involved in when he refused, insubordination was written there. It says that he is to be sent for disciplinary action.
Which means he probably had a connection that got it dropped.
No, because if it was dropped, this wouldn't exist. That line wouldn't exist in a sealed file. It would have been redacted
So somebody edited it.
Potentially. But his main file, again, this is basically a hacking role at this point. His main file has not been edited. It was never inputted. If he did go through disciplinary, it was never recorded. So your only conclusion is that the disciplinary action is off the books. Something was done to him, or they did something to him that is not recorded. And after that, he is what he is.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the drinking started after that case. But with that revelation, we will get to the other 2's first shifts if you want to do anything with it. But for now, we are going to take a short break. Everyone watching, don't go anywhere. We have 2 negative 2s now, and a single +2, and there's a negative 20 that I don't think that's real.
No,
But,
that's
I know that's not real, but we have 2 negative
Surely.
2s, 8 plus 2. We're gonna take a short break. We will be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere because some stuff is going to happen and some things are going to go down. We'll see you guys in a bit. And we're back with some more existential dread. Maybe. Depends. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. But for now, where we left, George, you found some information regarding lands. You're not sure what's going on. But before we get to that, because you did do it in your sister's house, so you are still en route to the office.
Yes.
That now means Evie and or Echo. It's your first shift. You're pretending. What do you want to do?
Do you want to go first?
How many promotion points is it to get a promotion on a skill? 8?
You cannot upgrade a skill promotion point. You need humanity to do that. Promotion points gets you specialties or equipment and stuff from the LAPD. You can also spend the first shift doing nothing. Oh, by the way, if you guys have injuries or stress, the one downtime relieves 1 point each. So you gain 1 stress and 1 health bar. Now, would either of you like to spend your shift doing anything? Or just pretend to work?
I have something
Okay.
I would like to do. I'm
Feel
gonna
free.
leave.
Leave?
Pray
Okay.
tell, what could you possibly want to do? I'm gonna leave the precinct. I'm gonna grab my KIA, my pistol, because that I
Okay.
can at least hide.
Yes. You have a
wanna
meeting
take my
today, mind
badge?
you.
Huh?
You have a meeting today.
Yeah, or that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna use my KIA to maybe call Lilith.
Say that you're following up an investigation. Put it on code.
Yeah.
Does she understand? Okay. Guess we have your first shift then. Heading you off to Animoid Row. You'll do it in the same place. If anyone's familiar in the movie with Doc Badger, that's the same place where you got scanned. That's the same place where she's done all of this with you. And that's the same place where she's going to meet with you. So, when you arrive, Doc lets you in. He knows what's going on. He offers you some water, and it doesn't take long before Lilith arrives next. Okay. She looks to you a little tense. She makes sure that it's you, because when she asks, before we get started, I'd like you to reiterate what it is that you asked him.
After you found the cranial sutures on my scan, and we had that revelation, I asked you to uncover the memories that, or whatever memories you could that might be missing.
Okay. First, your memories. They're not implanted. They're edited. They've been changed to look like implants, so you wouldn't question it. But I found the records of the people from your memories, from those fragments that we've seen. Your mother was a human. Or she was recorded to be. But she was in fact a replicant. It just looks like she and your father never knew. The autopsies were buried deep. But you are the child of two replicants. Moreover, you had a childhood. You were born, you were raised. She stopped. And I have reason to believe you were raised in a Wallace facility. I don't know where it is, and I can't prove it, but the fragments of your memories I was able to recover suggest the facility, and there are the Wallace logo appears in several of those recovered memories I took from your brain scan.
I've seen them too.
But further than what you've seen down your childhood. The childhood that's still in there. They've erased it, they've removed it, but some fragments are in there. I think you were raised by Wallace employees, and when you came to the age you are now, they made you believe that you are just another replicant mate. They manufactured... Here. She shows you the papers, and the DNA on the eye that you have with the barcode is different from the rest of your body. They gave you a different eye. They put a barcode on you to sell you as a rep. As one that was manufactured. They gave you a serial number and everything. I don't know what happened to your parents, but the records suggest that they were targeted by Blade Runners being extricated. But the Blade Runners involved never knew that they had a child. I can't recover all of your memories, but I have fragments of them here. She hands you a disc. That's the most I could get from your scan. They did an excellent job removing them from you, and I didn't have many resources to work with without Lilith that.
I understand. Thank you.
Your parents hid you. They made sure you weren't found, but Wallace found you anyway. Or the Wallace Corporation did. Wallace Sr., in fact. You were born long before the next time. Born before Wallace Jr. was able to find you.
So there's a chance that he doesn't know.
Potentially. There's a chance. There's a guarantee the LAPD doesn't know. In fact, there's a very real chance no one knows.
Except for those.
The
Wallace
facility was
employees.
shut down. The facility was no longer on record when Wallace Sr. passed away. It's not on any database, it's not in any record. And as many secrets as Neander Wallace Jr. has, does not erase record. Not without leaving a trail. In this case, there was no record to erase. It never existed. It's like Wallace Sr. had a failsafe in case this would ever come out. There's another thing. Your parents were
Another
Nexus
thing?
9. But in the report, after the Blade Runner hit, they were listed as Nexus 8. And they were filed as such. But their bio data I've uncovered suggests that they were Nexus 9.
But years before they came out?
He nodded. Wallace Sr. may have been experimenting with the Nexus 9s long before they were allowed to. A new model. At best, you can call them a prototype. But they were precursors to Nexus 9. I don't know what's going on, but Neander Wallace Sr. had plenty of secrets. And they've been so well hidden and trapped beneath all of this that I can't tell you any more information.
You've done more than enough. I don't...
There is one other thing, but you're not going to like it.
May as well just get it out.
The terrorist you've been hunting, Elle, when she killed Neander Wallace Sr., it was never reported to the LAPD. But I remember it. It was discussion they didn't know I overheard. She stole all of the secret files of Neander Wallace Sr. All the files that Neander Wallace Jr. could never get in hand. You might have the answers you're looking for. Sorry.
Oh.
That's all I can do for you now.
You've done more than what most people would.
Take this. Here.
You too. You... I think it's only fair because you've helped me so much. But I think something is coming. I don't know what, but you might want to
Easy.
get out of Los Angeles.
I'm already on the first ticket off-world. I just wanted to finish this for you.
Thank you.
But I know that if this exists, then something is going to happen. And I know that me and my son can't be here.
Your instincts are very right.
Good luck.
You too.
I've prepared something else for you too. He hands you a brown leather messenger bag. It's small, just a small rectangle for personal items. And she taps it on you, and she taps it for you. You can do whatever you want, and you can burn it if you like. But I wanted you to at least have the option. She just smiled, and she leaves without saying anything. She doesn't wait for you to open the bag. She just goes out immediately. You like to look at it? In it?
Yeah. Yeah.
passports, identification, birth certificate, a human identity, and, if needed, an extractor for your eye. And you see Doc Badger looking at, that one is for me. If you ever want it, I can give you a new one. One day won't scan.
Is there a quiet place where I might be able to watch this? I hold up the disc.
The computer not tied to the ESPA. That room. Don't worry.
Thanks.
Keep your secret.
And I'll use a chinian.
Actually hear
I'll
him
slide
mutter as he turns away from you. I've kept plenty.
I do still, just because he's putting himself in so much danger, I slide him a chinian.
Get out. Go to the computer. Watch it. This doesn't require a roll, so it can be in your shift because you're not hacking anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's fragmented, and it's like those old homemade family movies from the VHS era. They've got like these broken lines and dead pixels. But you're watching it. It's maybe you were 3 years old, give or take. As early as you can when you start developing memories that you can remember, that your subconscious can remember. Whatever it can draw out. And your parents are talking about the implication. You were born, that this is happening. They're hiding you. They're making sure you're not known. But they think that your mom is human. So she can be your mother. Maybe she slept around, maybe something happened, but she can be your mother. And they tried their best. The problem is, they think she's human, she's not. And Wallace got wind of it. It was Wallace Sr. who took you from your parent. He comes with a goon squad. They're all heavily armed, and they take you. And the thing that you remember while you're being taken, before they put a drug in you to knock you out, is Wallace saying, "Don't go looking. And there will be nothing that you have to worry about." And he slips them a briefcase of cash. The next thing that you remember, they were gone. You managed to get out of the facility, start running, they started chasing you. This was your teen years. And they're gone. All of these memories seem to indicate that Wallace changed their records to match Nexus 8. And they've already been profiles Nexus 8, even though they weren't. They weren't from Kelantha. Those memories were implanted fake.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the Blade Runners kill them for being Nexus 8. So that they would stop talking. So that they wouldn't spread it. And Wallace Sr. didn't want this getting out. The additional thing here is, while you were in the facility, you weren't alone. There are several other children here. One of them looks very familiar. If you age him up a bit, that looks like Echo.
Fake news.
If you age him a bit, give him a little more muscle, that looks like him. And somewhere in these memories, there is this there's this conversation you overhear when you're supposed to be asleep. Two scientists speaking. What are we supposed to do? According to Mr. Wallace, half of them will grow up till they're sort of a certain age. Then we file them as replicants in the company files. Yeah, I meant the other half. The other half, we give a full memory scan. Anything and everything to give them a full history, to let them pass everything, and we send them out as human. We give them an entire history, we go through the Esper, we give them everything. They'll never be found out. After all, they were born. Okay then, that's a lot of work. Yeah. So what the hell are we supposed to do? And this is a new memory, like it cuts. What are we supposed to do now? Wallace is dead. It's fine. He left us a failsafe. We enact the plan. His son never has to know anything. It goes as planned. As long as we all do our damn job. Okay. Okay. You have the badge prepared. We have to send them to a human life. At least 3 of them are going to the damn academy. Are you sure their memories are ironclad? Yes! I triple-checked them myself. I've had others check them. Their memories are solid. Their paperwork is solid. They're human. We can't afford any mistakes. 3 of them are going to the LAPD and they're going to be Blade Runners. I checked them myself. It's solid. Okay. Send them out. Get their memories done. And the others? Raise them till they're of age. Mr. Wallace made sure that we were paid for the next 3 decades if we needed it. So we do our jobs as intended. We may report to Wallace Jr., but we don't answer to him. Fine. That's it. At least 3 Blade Runners come from this facility. Funny thing is, you escaped this facility as a teenager. You know where it is. Or where it was. They said they were defunct now, but old facilities always leave something.
Okay.
What would you like to do with this information? Or, now that you know this, there's an option for your second shift, which you can request the help of Doc Badger to extract whatever more he can. This is what Lilith was able to do with your memories when she scanned you. She wasn't able to do it live, and she wasn't willing to do it live. But you could pay Doc Badger to do it live and see what he can get. With your active brain trying to remember it under a scan. That would be a second shift.
Okay. I think I would rather go to the remnants of the old facility.
Alone?
Yes.
Great. Echo, your first shift, will you do anything or do you want to relax? Or maybe get a specialty?
Well, I was looking at the specialty. And I think I'm good. I have 3 already. I have the flask. I'm flying pretty high right now on that.
Maybe get an implant? Maybe get an implant?
I can
That's
do
a
that with a
Chinian.
promotion point?
No, that's a
Chinian.
Chinian. But
That's Chinian, okay. Gotcha.
unless you
But we
want it
got
to
Chinian.
be LAPD trackable.
We do have plenty of Chinian. So
If you want
so much
to try
Chinian.
to be immortal, because there are still 2 -2s and 2 people on this chat who are very determined to make you die. There's a medical implant which allows you to remove the permanent effect of a critical injury if you ever suffer it. Because some critical injuries do have permanent effects that will never go away.
is that the surgical? No. What is that
Medical implant. Otherwise, you could always get a prosthetic arm if you want to fight better or use force more.
How
Increases
much
your
how much
damage.
Chinian does the medical implant cost?
6 on its base, but it's based on the injury that you have. So you can
Okay.
buy it after an injury.
Okay.
But
How much are the
um,
tactical missiles?
the what?
The tactical missiles. I just realized we have those. That's
Oh.
an option.
Those are LAPD issue, but if you're buying them personally, I mean, your car will always have them. But if you're buying them
my
for your
car
personal
already
car,
has them?
oh sorry, no,
never
your car
mind.
has an autocannon. Tactical missiles
car,
a spinner cannot hold. You need a bigger vehicle for it, which the LAPD does provide. But if
we're
you
gonna
want
need a
your
bigger
own,
boat.
you'll have to buy your own vehicle and then apply it.
We got another -2.
3 -2s,
I'm so sorry,
And-
everyone.
2 + 2, 4 -2s, and 2 + 2s. This is
Oh my
horrible.
God.
Okay, Echo, your downtime, please.
So we
That's right,
need,
you're
we need to, we need to turn off their ability to do -2s.
I know.
I was trying to
They'll
figure
run
where
out
the
of
implants
points
were on-
eventually.
I was trying to figure out where the implants were on the menu here, like in the actual
Items.
foundry? In Forge, I mean items.
Items and then synthetic
Yeah, you go-
augmentation.
Oh yeah. It's the briefcase tab.
Right. Okay, medical implant. And
You buy that when you get an injury. You buy that only when you get an injury.
Oh, so I don't have to have it now.
Yeah.
Save it. Okay. Removes the permanent effects of a critical injury, and I'll use that. I'll just save up for it and just wait for it. I don't need it right now, right?
Okay. Yep. All right.
Sounds good.
So, second
Just try to
shift,
relax and doing my human stuff, whatever humans do.
Evie's going off
I
city
forgot
second
what
shift.
humans do already.
What about the other two? What do you like to do in your second shift? Pretending to work?
What does George do?
You could always look further into the land swing.
Yeah, I think I will. That's a good point. Sorry, my brain's kind of scrambled with the whole AV thing. I'm like, I am actually
4
going
+ 2s
to...
and 4 - 2s floating around right now.
Okay, good. We have an equal amount. Thank you.
Thank you, miserable junkie.
Thank you. I am going to... Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and look into the Lance thing.
You still want to hack, right? You don't want to be...
I want to hack. I want to
Okay,
hack.
so I will need a tech roll at a disadvantage. But there are
Okay.
4 + 2s now, if you'd like to use it to cancel it out.
We'll see. Let's see here.
Go ahead.
Disadvantage. Push.
Oh shit.
Hey, there we go.
That's a +2. That's a -2 gone. Okay. When you continue looking into it, and again, you can report from home if you don't want to be in the LAPD.
I would say that I probably reported in just doing some basic stuff, but I'd probably be taking a day on the books. I'd probably be taking a day to kind of do some legwork and what have you. But I'd probably be doing most of this work from my sister's place. I'm just calling it my sister's place because it's easier than saying it's easier than saying my family home.
So his disciplinary action, again, erased, not written, but when you track it and look through how it works.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment in Lance's record where he was gone for about 2 months. That was around the time the disciplinary action should have been taken. Two months he was gone, and this is where you have to get into outside the LAPD, looking into everything that you can. It looks like Lance was sent to Wallace. However, he wasn't sent to the Wallace Corporation. He was sent to an off-site medical facility.
Ah.
for 2
Now,
months.
I sent you a message in private chat,
Let me check
Nigel,
because I can't
a while ago.
see it.
And this now it comes up as character stuff because
This
does
is the one
does
Evie knew.
this-
No,
But does this facility
medical?
that I'm this one
Yes.
does this one have to do with my parents' work?
this one does. Yes, not the one Evie is at. This medical facility.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
5 listings.
Okay.
But
I'm
This
writing
is-
this all down in a notebook, not
Yeah.
in my KA. I'm writing everything down in my notebook.
pen and paper. Okay.
Yeah, pen and paper.
So he was sent to an off-site medical facility, and there's no record of him coming back to his apartment. His apartment, at the time, was paid for those 2 months by Wallace.
Yeah.
And at the time, he was living at the LAPD housing, but they still rent for it.
Yeah.
They were paid for by Wallace. He's been gone for 2 months, and it looks like he has never returned. You can go through old security camera footage, hacking through the Esper, whatever's in the history. He never returned for 2 months, and then just one day he came back. The 2-month period was not listed as disciplinary action on his record. When you look and try to match the dates, it was listed as a sabbatical. An approved sabbatical.
Does this scream of what I know as a, well, still technically Wallace employee as a recomputation, I guess is a good way of putting it for a Nexus 9
it's recalibration, and no.
calibration.
A recalibration only takes at most a week.
But this was a while ago. Like this was
In his rookie
before.
year.
Yeah. Like would the technology have been good enough for that to be a thing at that point?
Yes, recalibration has only gotten better. A week was before.
Okay.
The current day,
Gotcha.
a week is for the most defiant of
Intense.
replicants, when you have to
Gotcha.
overhaul everything. Usually,
Gotcha.
for minor things, it's a day, maybe 2. Back then, it was a week. But either way, it never reached 2 months. That is way too long. But they clearly
So
did
does it
something.
Does it almost seem like maybe they cloned him?
You don't know if cloning is possible, but 2 months is not enough time to make a new replicant. Like from
Okay.
that era, it's not enough time to
Yeah.
make a brand new replicant.
Yeah. I guess for me as a player, I'm wondering what are my options to go from here, because as a player I'm having trouble keeping track of things.
You can go to the facility. Same with Evie. There's separate facilities, but you can also go to that facility if you like. You know where it is now. It's defunct as well.
Sure. I'll go to the facility.
That's your second shift, and that leaves Echo. Before I get to Evie, what do you do for your second shift? How does this all play out for you? Echo? Oh, is he? Oh, I think he might have disconnected. Oh no. Well, we'll give him a minute to reconnect. I hope the frames are still gonna get fucked up. Evie!
Okay.
Facility.
Yeah, he looked like he was deep in thought for a second. It's like, but no,
Something's happening.
He's for sure
Oh.
frozen. Oh,
Oh, he's gone. Oh no,
there
the
he
frames.
goes.
I can't fix that. I have no idea how to fix that. This is bad. Anyway,
It's okay. I'll do Echo's shift. I'm Echo now.
it's fine. You do have to. You're going to the facility.
I am
So
the
we'll do
Echo
that.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you go to the
I'm
facility-
going to the facility. Mhm.
Okay. It is a rundown area. Nature has taken over. some small vines or whatever nature exists in this basically apocalyptic world. Dust, vines, tumbleweeds, and the like are just covering the entire space. It's all there. When you go inside, it's almost like you need to use that katana that you just bought just to get through with the amount of stuff, dirt, and everything that's come across it, the vines and everything. When you go in, I will ask you to roll observation to see what you can find.
At disadvantage.
Yep,
I'm gonna
there
use
are
a
still
plus
3
2.
plus 2s, so that
I'm gonna
is
use a plus
4
2.
plus 2s and 2 negative 2s left.
Okay. Come on. Best my observation has ever
That's a
been.
straight roll. Okay, great. That's 2 negative 2s left. So, you move around, you investigate the facility, you look around for what you can. There's a playroom that triggers a memory. A very basic memory of you playing here. Except your memory then fast forwards to your teenage years to another room. You are sitting with 2 others. And one of them is looking, again, like Echo, especially in the teenage years department now. Saying that you're going to be split up. And he doesn't know why. And you don't know why either. But you, in your youth, tell him, hey, maybe the 3 of us will see each other again. Who knows? But now that you see him in his teenage years, that is 100% Echo.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In fact,
Do I?
you hear the intercom calling out, Echo Jones, please report to Medical Bay 2. And he stands up, well, that's me. He leaves. At the very least, from all your memories, the children here were not abused. They were not hurt or anything. They were treated properly, they were educated, but it is still a facility.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like that the children here are not afraid. It's more like this is what they know. But they're not afraid, they're living here, they were trained here, they were raised here. But Echo was going up, he got called in the prompter, and he says, never gonna get used to that. Jones feels like such a simple name. But yes, that's me now. And he leaves. You, on the other hand, are referred to only as Evelyn. Which was also the name your parents gave you. They retained it. But as you continue through this facility, you move around, and you find a medical room. And in this medical room, you uncover a memory where they were starting to put you under anesthetic. And they were telling you that your eye is infected and needs to be replaced. You are right around as old as you are now. Give or take a year or so. But you wake up and your eye's fine. Now, moving further, with that observation, you do find a room behind the wall. Secret panels that you stumble on accidentally. You're just touching the wall, looking at the dust, checking anything you can find, and you accidentally press it, and you realize that it's a turning wall. The other side of the wall is identical, so you can actually walk in. And the wall is tiled, so there's no seam to look at. And you can push it, and you enter a room. It has file cabinet with paper files, non-digitized. Left alone here. And you can go through them. And because of that good roll, you will find several files. Yours. You're called Evelyn. You're not given any other name, but you were the daughter of 2 replicants commissioned by Wallace Sr. Right around right before the supposed doll hunt, about 10 years earlier. Then, as you look through the files, you find Echo, who was born. And you find them being raised, and they realize that replicants who were born retain the natural strength that replicants are made with. Their DNA retains it. They are naturally stronger, naturally more durable. However, when Echo was born, they manipulated his DNA because he was always planned to be human. And he was planted. The thing is, according to this file, there was an Echo Jones. He's the replacement. So all the memories that they planted in him were memories from the real person. And they gave him those memories, and they sent him back to the bed that the real one was sleeping in. And he woke up the next day, and he is now Echo Jones. The memories are meant to pass any kind of test, any scrutiny, but if they were scanned, they could be uncovered. The thing is, there's no reason to scan a human being. So no one would ever think to do it. Because he did have a family, he did have friends, they all remember him, and he remembers them. No issues. As for your file, your parents were retired by Blade Runner. You were raised here, and you were meant to be a Nexus 9. The purpose of this experiment is unknown. There's nothing that indicates what it is, or what it's for. Only that it happened. That's all you find in this facility.
Okay. From the memory when it was the 3 of us and we were being separated, do I recognize the other person from anyone at the RDU?
No. Doesn't look like anyone in the RDU.
Okay, well, I'm assuming I still have my bag full of with my passport and documents. I take my file. I take Echo's file.
You put it in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I close the revolving door. Yeah. And basically leave everything as much as I can like it's been untouched.
Okay. You leave?
Yeah. I'm considering, I'm considering if I should. No, okay. I use my KAA and I call Echo. And I say, hey, I think I may have found a lead. Would you mind backing me up at this old facility?
Getting away from the paperwork? On my way. Send me the directions.
That is now Echo's second shift. Which means I will get to George first before the 2 of you have your little powwow here. Okay. George, you're going to a medical facility. Offsite as always.
Just so you're aware, we are about 2 minutes from 8 o'clock.
Oh no, that's fine. I covered it with everyone that we're gonna have to go because we started late. But
Gotcha.
then we go over a bit, but not too long. You're going to a medical facility. I don't need an observation roll because everything here is abandoned, not taken. But I do need a tech roll to understand what exactly has been abandoned, because this doesn't look like a clinic, nor does it look like a memory lab.
Okay. And this is with disadvantage, correct? Because we have...
There's 2 more -2s left. See if we can't run through them this session before you get another. Oh no.
I am gonna
failed.
use one of those. I'm gonna use a +2 to re-roll that.
3 more +2s.
Come on, one more
There-
+2.
2 more +2s. And 2 negatives left. Oh, 1 negative left.
Yes! There we go.
It takes a lot of effort. You're not familiar with any of his tech. That was
Now,
always Lance's special.
this is my mom. This is my mom and my dad's stuff. Like, I never got into this kind of shit.
Yeah. And this was Lance's specialty, equipment and the like. So you don't know any of his tech, but you remember at some point in your rookie year, when this was just you and Lance partnering up for the first time. You weren't a team yet. You just were assigned in the same case. And it's not even with the Blade. Oh, sorry. It is with the Blade Runners. Your starting year. He was pointing out how some. You thought it was just another hospital. He was pointing out that this isn't a hospital. It's a surgical clinic. And he pointed out certain items that make the difference. The surgical chair, for example. The various tools that aren't for regular hospital use. And you identify those. And in that case, there was a replicant Nexus 8 who tried to change their face and identity by going for an entire body synthetic augmentation. And that is the kind of equipment you are seeing in this facility. With these equipment, they can adjust your muscle size and density, they can adjust your bones, your height, your face, anything you want.
So what I'm getting is that they didn't clone him. They replaced him with a replicant and surgically changed him to look exactly like the guy.
Yes. Because no one else but a replicant is going to be able to do that. Erasing human memories at the time was pretty hard.
Yeah.
You find this, and I guess he technically was the guy you knew, but the guy you knew wasn't the original guy that you never met.
Yeah. Yeah.
It still doesn't make sense what this is about.
I will, as soon as I figure this out, I will message on the KIA Evie, and I will say, where are you?
This is after you sent a message to Echo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm checking out a lead right now. What's going on?
He sends a message back and says, found some info about Lance. Need to meet. Chang's Noodle Shop, and I give you an address.
Okay. I'll be there as soon as I'm done.
He just sends a thing back with a hug emoji that says "Be safe."
You too.
It can be a third shift. For now, Echo's second shift is to go to Evie. It's a broke down facility. No logos or anything, no labels. It's way out of the city. But when you arrive here, I assume Evie's like at the doorstep waiting.
Yeah.
What does Evie say? When Echo arrives.
Hey. Thanks. It's like this is like this super old like secret Wallace medical facility. I thought maybe, yeah, one of those. It looks pretty run down, but I thought, we had issues with some of the rundown facilities in the past, so I might need some backup.
Sure, you
wanna
seen
go in?
anybody around? You've been here a while? Nobody's coming in or out? No activity?
Not that I've seen, but you never know.
Yeah, let's clear it out. Maybe there's some,
Yeah,
might be someone inside, but they're not expecting us, so.
exactly.
So,
I don't have all of my all of the gear that I normally would, so
Yeah, I'll walk over and just start trying to open the door, get through it, start trying to breach this place.
you go inside. All of you do. The place hasn't been visited in a long time. But I'm assuming Evie's gonna start leading Echo.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna make a roll here because you already know where to go.
Yeah.
But Evie does stumble upon the same wall, which Echo, you see the same thing. A set of file cabinets, old school method. Very old school.
I kind of want to walk him through like all of the
Oh,
rooms
the room.
that I
Okay.
that I kind of went through, and I'm gonna be like
Cool.
I'm gonna be walking side by side with him and kind of like looking to the side to see if maybe he's recognizing anything.
Never mind. Echo, I need you to roll empathy.
Sure. I don't know where that is.
There
I've never
is
used
a
that.
negative.
I've-
The
I'm
last
messing around,
negative.
but for some reason my foundry closed. Give me one moment.
Oh. I can click it for you if you want. But do you want to
Yeah,
take
if you could. There's something weird about someone else clicking your empathy for you.
insight? But do you want to take the disadvantage or do you want to use a +2? There's 2 +2s and 1
use the
negative.
+2. This isn't driving. I don't know what I'm doing.
1
I've
+2,
never u- I've
and a
never used
negative.
empathy before.
it's a success. 1 +2 and a negative. So, you're going around, and flashes of memory start to hit you about this place. You remember that stain in the corner. You spilled some juice over it. You remember this playroom. You hated all the puzzle toys. And you
Yeah,
remember...
so recognizable. It's the old rooms. This whether I've seen it in a movie or a game or something. A lot of this is deja vu, but doesn't. It's not absolutely making sense. But for some reason, I've been in places like this before.
And before Evie shows you the room, like you have an instinctive knowledge that where she's turning to, you're not supposed to be in. Like, oh, that's a restricted area. But there's no signs or anything. It's just a corridor.
Yeah, I'll
But
stop
you-
outside like a vampire.
This is inside the facility on a right turn to a certain corridor. You kind of realize you're not supposed to be here. Wait,
That's what I mean.
Why
I'm
am I not
gonna
supposed to be
kind of like stop like a vampire who hasn't been invited inside. Like,
and then Evie realized that Echo stopped walking about a few steps in.
I'll motion towards the hallway and say, what's down there?
I don't know. Is something wrong?
Oh, I've been in places like this before, I think.
You've been in places like this.
Yeah. The walls, the decor. It's not exactly modern. It's places like this were everywhere during my kid when I was a child. Things change, but some places stay the same, and looks like this place stayed the same.
You've been in places like this? Or you've been here before?
That's another insight roll.
I'm gonna start walking toward down the hallway.
Make another insight roll for me.
Sure, here we go.
No more disadvantages. You managed to go through all 4 that they gave you. What's the earlier ones? Oh, a success. Again. This facility, there are others like it, but you're too familiar with every turn. You look back and you realize that Evie walking you through it didn't even matter. You knew where to go. You knew there'd be a turn here. You knew there'd be a door there. You knew there'd be a light there, even though it's broken now. And where she's leading you before you even get there, you know she's leading you to an admin room. And lo and behold, when you realize that and she opens the door, it's an admin room. And you know where the desk is gonna be. You know where the lamp was. And you know what rug was gonna be in there. Albeit dustier now. Have you been here before?
Yeah, let's say. Whoa. What is all this? What's going on here? You got a lead? This place...
Echo, I have something that I have to show you. I don't really fully understand it myself. But I'll just, I think whatever I have to say pales in comparison to actual records. And I pull out his file and I give it to him.
There is a file over here. Oh, Junkie Verb is gifting a tier 1 sub. Thank you. There's a file here that shows Echo, the real Echo, moving around. Welcome, Raiders. Just in time for someone to potentially get angry. There's a file here that shows Echo, Echo Jones, the kid, and it's everything you remember. You know, it's your childhood. It's a bit odd they have a file on you. That's concerning. Maybe Wallace has been stalking you for a bit. But you look through the file, you read through it, you check everything, and you realize that somewhere along the file, Echo Jones was replaced by someone from this facility. And that...
I'm going to say out loud, so... I died?
The thing is...
You didn't die.
Within the file, the Echo Jones that was replaced was someone else. And they don't look like you. But you were the sent replacement. And according to the replacement date of when you were placed here, your parent died on that same day. And basically anyone who could identify you was gone that same day. And that is also the same day where for some reason you decide to wake up and apply for the police academy, become a Blade Runner. All in one day. All on that day that this file says Echo Jones was replaced.
How many years ago was that? Like a couple of weeks ago?
No, this is when you were in the academy, not when you graduated. Okay. This was about 5 years. And it starts to sink into your mind, why on earth would a child who just lost all his parents be so determined to suddenly go to the academy instead of grieving for a bit? But you remember that day that you just had to be in the academy. And it was for your parents, it was for justice, it was for the LAPD, but why didn't you take the time to grieve? Why didn't you take the time to feel?
Let me wonder this. Would Echo Jones, was the original Echo had any desire for that at all? Or was this something new? It felt kind of spontaneous.
Not sure what your Jericho Jones want. But in your memories, you should have grieved. In your memories, you wanted to grieve. But you didn't. No matter why. Why weren't you grieving? Why go straight to the academy? You could have delayed the academy application by a day, by a week. They were accepting applicants all month. But instead, on the day you woke up, you just had to do it. In fact, this probably wasn't remembered much, but you never attended the funeral. People assumed it was because it was too painful. But you never went to that funeral.
So I'm gonna look. I'm just trying to put it all together exactly what I'm looking at in the file, and what my character would know right now.
What's happening to you right
So-
now? I need an insight roll again.
Sure.
Keep passing. Okay. You are now getting
Wait.
conflicting memories. This facility, those memories of it, are starting to flash back of you as a kid here. You playing here, and suspiciously, you are seeing a kid that looks like a younger version of Evie that you're playing with in the playroom that you saw a few steps back. The memories are starting to clash. It's not making any sense anymore.
I'm gonna basically look at all this. I'm gonna say, I don't understand what I'm even looking at. It looks like right here, and from what I can remember, I'm a dead guy. Like,
Echo a few
I mean-
days ago. Let's go back.
I mean,
When I went to George's house, I got flashbacks of a memory that wasn't my own. I tried not to look into it. I tried to push it back, but eventually I got curious and I contacted Lilith Tyrell. A few days ago, we met up. She did a scan of me and of my memories to try and figure out what was going on. And she discovered that I was born like those children at the camp. My parents were Nexus 9s long before Nexus 9s had even been released to the public.
both your parents' replicants.
Yes. She found some buried memories of mine. And in one of them, I saw myself here. And I saw you as a kid. The only beings that were here were replicants that were born of other replicants. Some of them were raised into adulthood and their memories were wiped and they were made to believe that they are replicants. But the other half were given completely new memories, and they weren't told any of this, and they thought that they were human. That's what happened to you, Echo. There was an Echo Jones who died, and they replaced you with him after that.
So
We were raised here.
Real? Or my memories are real? What about yours?
There are some that are real.
They were somebody's.
Yeah, they were.
The implants for Evie were from your father. His memory.
Look, I know, I mean, I've only had a few days to process this. I barely understand it myself, but Echo, you're a replicant. If you want, I can show you the memory that I have it's on a disc.
Yeah, I mean, send me what you got. I want to review everything. There's answers here. If I have a past, I want to know about it. If it's different than what I think. I mean, who I am right now sounds like I'm 5-6 years old. I mean, I'm a dead guy. I mean,
You're still you.
is that? I was gonna say
You are.
that makes me real, and that at least these are real memories, and this happened. But I mean, I remember something of being here. It's like double memories, like crossing your eyes.
I know, it's once they start coming back, it's very jarring. I get it. I get it.
But I'm not an 8. I mean, am I even a 9? What are we?
I don't know what we are. The chances are, so apparently Neander Wallace Sr. was most likely trying to create Nexus 9s before they even came out, and was most likely experimenting with them. I was born to Nexus 9s. I don't know who your parents were, but Lilith Tyrell is most likely no longer on this planet, but I do know of a doc who is very trustworthy, who could do a memory scan for you and might be able to uncover some of your memories if you want.
If it doesn't mess with my other memories, I mean, in some ways this means I'm immortal. This is amazing. I mean,
I think we can still die.
Well, yeah, but I've died before.
You didn't die though.
The person
who died before was a human who didn't look like you.
And if I die again, maybe these people can put me in someone else that looks the same, and I keep going. I mean, I did die, and now I'm still here. It's still me.
Sure.
Not if the Blade Runners have their way.
I'm like, it's like Amy's just like, let's not burst his bubble too much right now. He's dealing with a lot. We'll just yes and.
While you guys are having this conversation, before we end for this evening, there's one last thing for George as you make the call to Evie.
Okay.
When you're exiting the facility, on the corner of your eye, because of your implant, you're able to see some files. They were meant for the shredder, but it looks like the shredder may have malfunctioned because if you dump too many files in, and there's something there that it hasn't been shredded.
I'll go look at it.
Take off the cover, check the file. It is some kind of order, like a memo issued. It was dated a few days after Neanderthal Senior died. And it looks
2 days
like...
after?
Yes, Senior. After.
Okay. Gotcha.
Looks like it was meant to be automatically sent. And it just has a headline. Project Restart. And at the bottom of it are a list of names. They all have MDs, doctors, scientists, including your folks.
Project Restart, and my folks are on it.
It looks like a hit list. Because while you don't know all of the names, you know that some of them were murdered by replicants that the Blade Runners eventually had to hunt down. At least on paper, they were murdered by replicants. Some of them got into accidents, like your folks.
Like my parents.
The problem here is that this date obviously doesn't line up with when your parents got into that accident. Which means there was a delay between all of their deaths. But this was a list that was printed. The rest of the memo has unfortunately been shredded. It's a list, and you can only come to one conclusion. When Neanderthal Senior died, one by one this project had to be kept quiet. And you can also come up with, being a detective yourself, if 100 people died all at the same time, even within the same year, and they all tied to Wallace, it's going to go back to the company. And the people are going to start looking into things. But if they all died separately of varying causes in varying years over the span of 2 decades, then it's slowly cleaned up. And it looks like that's what happened with the people on this list.
Can I make the understandable judgment call that that everything that I am aware of that's been going on has been essentially one giant cover-up to try and fix the shit that old man Neanderthal Senior got into?
The thing is, with your judgment call, there's a very, very high likelihood his own son doesn't know what he's been doing.
Okay.
But one thing is for certain, Elle does.
And she's the only one that can give answers to why our parents had to die.
Because you know as well as Evie and the others know that when Neanderthals died, according to her file, she stole information from the Wallace Corporation. Whatever it is, she has the answer to what's going on. Because she's the last person who knows anything going on in the head of Neanderthal Senior that's still alive. Because the rest of them were cleaned up. These employee lists, gone. And with that, before we get to people's third shifts, we will have to end our session for today. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
My God.
I apologize that we had to go over 8 because we started late, had to adjust for everything that was last minute. Next week, it's going to be 5 to 8. We're not going over. We will start on time. But for now, we'll cut the story there. We hope to see you again next week. Hope that you guys don't take too much pain onto the players for whatever reason. That our 2 new viewers are very adamant about ruining your lives. But before we go,
I think they're out of points now.
There's 1 plus 2 and no negatives. That's where we're ending on. Oh.
Chunky Burb has shifted course and is now saving up all their bits for a negative plot twist.
Well, you have well, good luck then when she throws that out. Depending on what point in the narrative they're in, it's gonna be very bad. But for now, we'll call it there. Before we go, everyone just tell the audience where they can find you, what you're up to, starting with Dord, please.
Hello, I'm George Lee. You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram at George Lee with 2 Y's. Now that I'm done with school for this semester, hopefully I will have more time to make videos and to stream a bit more. And yeah, hopefully get back to my Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines playthrough.
And Shockman.
Hey guys, I'm Michael Shockman. God damn it, Nigel! Why the fuck do you have to touch on my heartstrings like that, you motherfucker?
Backstories always get used.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. But no, seriously, guys, I'm Michael Shockman. You can find me here on my Twitch channel. You can find me here on Cybernation Uncensored on Sundays. You can also find me over on my Twitch channel at DM Shockman, where right now on Mondays and Fridays and some Saturdays and Sundays earlier in the day, I will be playing Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, going through the base campaigns and maybe eventually all of the campaigns, but oh my god, there are so many. And then on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I am now we're continuing into the later section of the Onslaught expansion of Star Wars The Old Republic. You can also find me over on YouTube at both Michael Shockman as well as at the DM Shockman Institute, respectively. And you can find me on Twitter, though I don't go there very often. It is what it is. Thank you guys so much.
And finally, Echo.
You can find me on the Cybernation Uncensored Discord. I post in the cyberpunk and the Blade Runner sections. Hopefully I'll see you guys in there. I don't know if, Nigel, you can tell us if we're looking for a 4th, but that's how I applied to be here, was through the Discord, and if I think we're looking for somebody now.
Hey, if anyone wants to join in and become a 4th player, I'm open to receiving them. That's up to you guys.
Nice.
If anyone wants to apply, we can split you in. Also, just to point out that before we leave, I mentioned before that I do plan on running a campaign after this. Whenever this ends is up for debate, but after this, or maybe in a different day, who knows, we'll be doing Deadlands. However, after some off-screen discussions, potentially, we might be going back to a Vampire the Masquerade game, of course, with Rob's approval. I will have to ask him once again, happy birthday, Rob. But for now,
Happy birthday to Rob.
we're going to end there.
Happy birthday to Rob.
For those of you who might be in the Discord, for those of you who might be in the Discord or aren't yet and want to join, if you are interested in being part of a Vampire the Masquerade game, that the number of players who are interested in either game is probably going to influence my decision which one to run. So if you want to be part of a VTM game, tag me in the general, let me know that you want to be part of it. We can run it if there's enough players to join. But until then,
what was that, Echo? Echo was saying something.
You were saying?
Oh, nothing much. I was just going to say, if you think that this big revelation is going to change my character drastically, and
that is the player choice of what you're going to do with this information. But you have a week to decide. We'll be back next week on Sunday, same time at 5. We will not be going over that time. And until then, we'll see you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you again next week.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Cybernation Uncensored.